and stuff. So it's trying to get back to the music. That's what it's all about. And Sammy, what's your musical choice?
My musical choice this week is sticking to our thing of, old music can be new music if no one's heard it, because my friend hadn't heard this song and absolutely loved it. It's a song by a little-known band, The Doors. Their self-titled album from '67, and the song is the Alabama song, Whiskey Bar.
Novelty music from the 60s. Sammy's choice on the Steve Show. Go on, tell people for those who do not know.
That was The Doors. I think it's called Alabama song, and then in brackets, Whiskey Bar. Close the brackets.
Thank you very much indeed. Very fully informed. Now, in an effort to sound more like a regular DJ, and remember, guys, any moment I could collapse and one of you will have to step into the breach, alright? Look forward to that. That's still to come, me having a heart attack. Who knows, I might just choke to death. I haven't decided yet. But yes, obviously, there's been much talk in the papers and obviously on radio and TV about the hilarious Charlotte Green blooper on Radio 4. Yeah. It was killer. I'm not going to lie to anyone. It was killer. And in an effort, as I said in the past, to try and make this show sort of your one-stop shop, your indispensable guide to things that have happened in any given week. And let's be honest, we've failed to achieve that almost every week. We've so far not in any way provided enough information. It was a grand ambition.
It's huge.
And it's not really worked. But I think that it kind of bears repeating again because it's so great. And also, I'm just conscious that there are bound to be a few people who are just so busy consuming new music that they've not had a chance to consume news or anything from Radio 4, and they may not have heard it. Yes, dear old newsreader Charlotte Green, of course, on Radio 4, I believe. Is it Friday? Is it Thursday? Friday, I think.
Friday morning.
She's just trundling along, and there's a news report, obviously, about, she explains, really. It's a news report about a piece of archive that was discovered.
American historians have discovered what they think is the earliest recording of the human voice, made on a device which scratched sound waves onto paper blackened by smoke. It was made in 1860, 17 years before Thomas Edison first demonstrated the gramophone, and featured an excerpt from a French song, Au clair de la lune.
So at this point, someone whispers to her that it sounds like it's a bee buzzing in a jar. And then this sets her off.
The award-winning screenwriter Abby Mann has died at the age of 80. He won an Academy Award in 1961 for Judgment at Nuremberg. Abby Mann also won several Emmys, including one in 1973 for a film which featured a police detective called... The character on whom a long-running TV series was eventually based.
It's 10 minutes past 8.
Ever the pro there. Was that not to just coming in the end? But what's so fantastic is that, it's so... it's so... I can just listen to other people laughing inappropriately any time. It's just so enjoyable. And they also included on a news report a clip of her previously making another similar blunder, which is I defy anyone to not laugh at the name of the person mentioned in the report.
General Singarok's unpopular replacement has now been dismissed, with the Army's popular Chief of Staff, Jack Twat, taking over.
A 40-foot sperm whale, which was stranded in the Firth of Forth for more than 4 days, is now thought to be swimming towards open waters again. It freed itself late last night. Marine experts are hoping to establish this morning whether the whale is finally back at sea.
Oh, she did well to get through that at all.
Very, very good.
Jack Twat. Come on. We're allowed to say that because that's his name, right?
Well, it's his name.
What's his name?
Are we allowed to say? We're allowed to say Jack Twat then?
Yeah. You can say Jack Twat, yeah.
But can I say Jack Twat?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Because that's his name, right?
That was his name.
Is he still whatever his role was? Is he still Chief of Staff?
I don't want to Google it. No. It's going to be trouble, isn't it?
But so we could theoretically say Jack Twat anytime we wanted.
Yeah.
Is that
presuming you're referring to the Jack Twat?
Exactly.
I imagine it's spelled with a double T at the end, so it's fine.
I would hope so. Fingers crossed.
I got some behind-the-scenes revelations on the Friday one.
Go on.
My spy at Radio 4 tells me that Ed Sturton was also in fits, but he had to turn away from the mic and face the other way, apparently. I can't imagine a more proper man than Ed Sturton. I like the thought of him doubled up.
Yeah.
Not But
Sure, thanks. But as a man who has had to on occasion act, and when you've got something that just tickles you, you'll know that as an actress, Sammy,
Yeah.
that when you get going, there is no way of stopping it. And it's the greatest, it's like a hysteria, isn't it, that overwhelms you?
Rufus once described it to me as experiencing every human emotion at once. It's you're not finding anything funny.
Yeah.
It's fear, it's pain, it's discomfort. It's horrible. It's the most uneasy feeling because you're not laughing. It's just emotion escaping from your face. It's horrible.
I remember being, I don't want to sound show busy, I was in Los Angeles once, City of Angels, with one of my erstwhile writing partners, Ricky Gervais. I say many, one off. I mean, he's my only erstwhile writing partner. And we went for a little wander. And, you know, you can't really walk in LA. You've got to drive, really. But we didn't realise that. And we staggered out of this hotel. And we went for a walk. It was very hot. And we wandered into West Hollywood, which is... we didn't realise this, but it's a well-known kind of gay area in Hollywood, right? So walking along, and it's getting... hotter and hotter, and we stopped for a little bite to eat in a diner, and it might have been the gayest diner that has ever existed, right? And you know, and that's fine. But there's two of us here, and we're slightly self-conscious because we've sort of come in and we're kind of bickering because it's too hot and everything. We look like an old married gay couple, and this guy comes over to serve us, who again was a cliche of the sort of person you would find waitering in a restaurant in gay Hollywood, and had that kind of LA voice. Hi, you know, and he was absurd. He was like a caricature you'd see in a show, and I think he might have been on roller skates when he came over to serve us. And he's like, "How can I help you guys?" And obviously, so we were slightly tickled just because of the fact that he was such a caricature. And Ricky, for those who don't know, he sometimes, this is how he keeps himself looking so good. He sometimes works out in the morning, right, in the gym. I realised this. He was wearing a tracksuit, okay, and just as if we were sort of trying to sort of suppress the laughter of the kind of absurd camp guy, Ricky took his tracksuit jacket off, and beneath it he was wearing a tight black sweat vest that you would use whilst working out, you know, with no sleeves, right, so I could sort of see his man boobs and everything there, and it was as though he had deliberately worn it into West Hollywood in order to take it off at the opportune moment. So he took this off. You can imagine what he would look like wearing that sweat vest, right? I just burst into hysterics. I'm just killing myself. But now I'm sort of laughing at Ricky, and then obviously I'm trying to explain why am I laughing to the guy who's sort of slightly offended, the waiter now slightly offended. And I said what you shouldn't say in that situation, which is, I'm not laughing at you, to the guy. And it's one of those things again, as with Jack Twat. There's no way you can't laugh. There's no way you can you can't explain to someone really why you're laughing. And I think he just sort of roller skated off, you know, in a kind of hissy mood. But yeah, it's joyful. I'm having... No, I'm not. Okay, it's just a tease. Just a tease.
You're all poised.
You're all poised to step in. You don't know when it's going to happen. We've not had any new music for a while. Here's from the current Lionheart Brothers album, 50 Souls and a Disco Ball. Wu-Tang Clan on the Steve Show, BBC Six Music, with me, Steve Merchant, and Shame on the cleaned up version of another song which we can't begin to talk about on BBC. And here we are, so thank you very much indeed for tuning in. Coming soon, we got live music from Nizloppy. Didn't Nizloppy sometimes do human beatboxing?
Yes.
So they could do something for me. I could maybe just bust some rhymes later. Yeah,
Never know.
we'll see how things pan out. We don't know. We got, you know, it's a busy schedule. I can't guarantee anything. Yeah, a lot of.
don't forget your impending demise as well.
Also, still to come, I die, and one of these cool cats takes over, and we're all looking forward to that. You're a massive Beatles fan, aren't you, Sammy?
Enormous.
Does it surprise you that one of the Beatles, or one of the people who features on the cover of the Beatles album, Abbey Road, died this week?
Oh.
Do you know this?
No.
You may remember, of course, that it's the four Beatles crossing the Abbey Road zebra crossing. There is another person in that picture, lurking in the background.
Are they in a car?
No. Well, there's a police van parked with some policemen in it, but there's also a man stood, sort of looking at the camera, and that is a bloke called Mr. Cole, and he died aged 96 this week, and he just happened to be in the area. His wife had gone to a museum. He didn't want to go to a museum. I think he was American, and he was just wandering along, and he got chatting to those coppers, and obviously up ahead of him he could see a bloke on a ladder with a camera, and four of the most famous men in the world. And he thought to himself, oh, maybe I'll just hang here. And there he was in the background, immortalised forever, and now he's popped his clogs.
The night I took the Abbey Road poster off my wall was the night George Harrison died, and I will never forgive myself for that.
Why? Did you tear it?
It was just got, I don't know, I seemed to be looking at him when I took it down, and me and my mum thought, oh, isn't that weird? And then afterwards I was like, no, that is entirely my fault. I'm going to shoulder the blame for this. So If there are any huge George Harrison fans out there, it was almost entirely my fault, and I can't apologise enough. I really can't.
Can you pop out and buy a Westlife poster and pop it up here in the studio? And then towards the end of the show, we will tear it down and give you the results on next week's programme. I wanted to play some Stereolab. We all enjoy Stereolab, obviously, probably one of the most famous tunes. But it wasn't until recently that I realised that it was the contents of the lyrics were a sort of Marxist diatribe about the state of economy and so on. And listening to them again, you realise how pertinent it is to the modern situation. So here we are, Stereolab. Released on the 14th of April, with the album out a week later. That's Alex Turner and Miles Kane, of course, in the guise of The Last Shadow Puppets and The Age of the Understatement. Prior to that, we heard from their album Mars Audiac Quintet, that I think was released in 1994. It was Stereolab and Ping Pong, just about how prosperity leads to recession, and recessions are usually ended by the increased government spending that comes with a declared or undeclared war, which buoys the entire economy, starting the cycle all over again. Dan just making a note of that. Yeah, no, exactly, yeah, because I'd forgotten that as well. But there we are. So we've just heard Niz Loppy just setting up. That's going to be fantastic. That's coming very soon, but we have to hear first from Dan and his tiny musical choice.
Yes, what's the Steve Show policy on summer?
We're generally thumbs up.
Yeah, we like it, don't we? And you may have noticed the clocks all went forward. We're BST now, so it's an excuse for old ladies everywhere to go, oh, aren't the nights getting longer now, aren't they? And they're lovely. Sure. And this is, I just feel quite summery. I know the weather's not been up too much lately, but this, I think, is a song that warrants lounging in a hammock with a cold drink or two. You there in your bikini, maybe, coming over to fan one with an enormous palm leaf. It's got a lovely summery, laid-back vibe, and hopefully we won't be like last summer where it rained for 6 months. This will be nice, and we can all listen to tunes like this on afternoons and have barbecues. It's called Forgetting to Remember. It's the Nostalgia 77 remix.
Oh, thank God.
And it's by Kinney and Horn.
Things I said and did.
That was Tiny Dan's choice on the Steve Show this week. Just remind us what it was.
It was Forgetting to Remember, the Nostalgia 77 remix, of course, by Kinney and Horn. A little bit of noodle for you there.
Can we have a round of applause, please, in the Steve Wright style as we welcome Niz Loppy to the studio? Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much for having us.
Not at all, thank you. And maybe if you would very kindly just acknowledge, because it's John and Luke, right? John, give me a yo.
Hello.
And Luke, give me some respect.
Oh yes, Steve.
Thank you. That's how you express respect?
Generally, I sort of express it by being very quiet.
Oh, okay. Are you quite a shy man? Is this going to be awkward, this interview? Is it going to be one of those sort of slightly torturous ones? Yep, I thought. Perfect. We're looking forward to that. John has a giant double bass. Am I right in saying that you have a selection of double basses?
I do.
I understand musicians become quite attached to the double basses?
I won't leave this one. This is my life partner.
You are touching it quite intimately.
She's touching me. It's a mutual thing.
And this one's got a name?
This is Nanny.
Right, and this is one of many. They've all got different names, have they?
This is the only one.
Oh my goodness, you really are a psycho, aren't you? He's covering up the head of the bass lest she hear that he's got 3 other mistresses back at home. Oh my goodness, you're genuinely appalled.
Well, they're in different parts of the country.
Oh, I see.
So they never meet.
Right, it really is like you're having an affair. That's fantastic. And I guess, guys, and I'm sorry to dwell on the past, but I guess you're best known in a lot of people's minds for the JCB song. I did talk about.
No, because it was the way we got known. It's the only way sort of the mainstream knew about us. So we love it, and still live, it's a good song to play. So we're happy that song got some attention. So.
And you whooped Westlife, didn't you, in terms of albums, single sales?
Yeah, but we don't like to rub it in actually because we met them.
Oh,
they
really?
were really nice.
I'm sure they're really nice guys. I always feel bad whenever I slag them off.